Hi, welcome. It's Sherry. Nice to see everybody again out there in the YouTube, Facebook world. I am here to share some free and valuable information with you. So if you stick around long enough, you will learn some valuable things. Okay, so I'm Sherry. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, I am going to be speaking tonight on electromagnetic frequencies and how they are found in the brain, the body, as well as the environment, and how they can be used to be either weapons or tools of great power. You know, the electromagnetic frequencies, EMFs, are both powerful and invisible, immensely powerful, and of course invisible. We are doing this broadcast right now. I'm doing this for you, courtesy of electromagnetic frequencies, and you can't see the current, but we know that it's on because the broadcast is working, right? So that's what we're dealing with. A wonderful tool and a powerful weapon. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Okay, those three things. How EMFs are found in the brain, body, and environment, and how they can be used either as tools or weapons. All right, so stick around. I'm going to keep it nice and short and sweet, or at least I'm going to try to. We'll see. Okay, I got a little rough draft over here, little notes, so I can refer to them. Hope everybody likes my shirt. It's funny, I want to, and I've just ordered the first series of this show, Stranger Things, and I'm so excited to watch it. I've heard much about it. I've researched it a little bit, and it looks like it's going to be really interesting. So I've ordered the first season. That's what it is. I ordered the first season. So I haven't seen it yet, but it's so good. So I understand the premises though. So yeah, Stranger Things. Check it out. Maybe we can discuss. Okay, so a little bit about me before I prattle on, huh? What makes me qualified to talk about this? Well, I have a little bit of schooling, and by little I mean very little, but I did take some basic core classes in anatomy and physiology, and my degree was in a therapy assistant. So we covered a lot of things about the human body and how it works, and also adaptive devices, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight with the EMFs. So the schooling helped. And let's see what else. And I have a little bit of Bible training. Again, little, very little. I'm not smart, but my Creator is. So I always say that. Wisdom beyond what is normal. And thirdly, I do a lot of research, and I like to share what I've learned. So it's very helpful, like I said, and it's free. So stick around, you'll learn something. Okay. All right. So in the brain, EMFs in the brain. Okay, so basically every thought and every emotion can be read out as an electromagnetic frequency. That is because the brain itself is electrical chemical. Now I think we're all familiar with the fact that that the brain is chemical, right? So we know, certain medications, certain drugs, and alcohol, things can change the chemical balance in the brain, and that affects it, okay, and can also treat it. So don't forget too now that the brain is also electrical as well as chemical. So you've heard of treatments done with like electrical, right? Electrical shock therapy, things like that. So the brain is also very much electrical as well as chemical. So with electromagnetic frequencies, every time the brain thinks a thought or feels an emotion, mad, sad, glad, whatever, it gives off a readable EMF. It's a frequency in there. They're neurons, and they're firing electrochemically. So that's important to know, okay? Frequencies, EMFs in the brain. All right. Also, there are EMFs in the body. So every time you do any type of movement in your body, any type, it can be small to the largest movement, okay? From micro to macro, okay? So everything, blinking, talking, walking, coughing, drumming your fingers, laughing, those, the muscles in your stomach move. There's so many. If you think of one movement, there's many things that are involved usually in just one movement. There's tendons, there's muscles, there's bones, and it happens so instantaneously. In the human body, we're so wondrously made in both our brains and our bodies, how everything is done so split second, real time. But when you slow it down and you study it in school, or if you make it a personal area of study, how it's done is a process. It's just so quick, we don't see it or think about it very much. So point being is, we'll use the example of talking, right? So when you talk, first of all, the brain has to send the signal to your muscles, right? In your throat, there's, some vocal cords. In addition to your vocal cords, there's also some muscles that have to move in order for the sound to come out so that you can speak. Again, this is all done quickly, and it's done in real time. So, but yeah, it requires the brain to pass the message to the muscles and whatever else, tendons, to go ahead and make that movement, okay, and make that thing happen, the desired effect. Okay, so that's an example of EMFs in the body. Now, if you notice, sometimes people with strokes, they will lose the ability to use their leg, okay, let's say. And what happens is, you can look at the leg, it looks perfectly healthy, it looks perfectly fine, from an anatomical, viewpoint. However, if the signal from the brain, the neuron, doesn't fire to let the muscles and the tendons and the bone in the leg know to move, it's not going to move. You get it? That signal to signal, they have to interface. They have to talk, right? So what's that movie, the famous line, what we have here is failure to communicate. Okay, so same thing with your brain and your body. If your brain doesn't communicate with your body, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so EMFs play an important factor in that. The electromagnetic frequencies from your brain, with the electrical chemical makeup, has to send the signal to your body, whatever movement it is, walking, talking, coughing, whatever, to do that movement. Okay, so if the signal's not sent, the EMF is not getting there, and no movement will happen. All right, so excuse me a moment, just have to move here. It's all happening in real time. Okay, so some examples I wanted to say about electromagnetic frequencies in the body is that, like, say with soldiers, when they get like say they have like a prosthetic leg, or say somebody loses it through the disease process, you can get a prosthetic leg now that has, that can interface with your brain, okay, via chip usually, but I think they can do it without the chip now. But what happens is that chip can interface with in your brain, can interface with the device, the prosthetic limb, and make it move for you. Okay, same thing with arms. I posted something about a cool armed Luke. That's where they called it Luke. The guy had lost his arm to cancer or something, and he got a new arm. He got a chip. He had 2 surgeries. So one to, install the prosthetic arm, and then one to install the chip in his brain to communicate with the arm. So again, the EMFs from his brain, the frequencies, can communicate, signal to the chip, okay, the EMF in his arm, and interface and make the body part move. How wonderful for him. Okay, and I apologize. I'm trying to, I didn't do this video like I usually do. I'm kind of balancing it on my lap here, and this is not, this is not, I won't do it again, okay? You learn, right? Live and learn. So, but bear with me, okay? It's information. I hope you're able to hear what I'm saying. If not, I'll do another video another day. But I promised a video. Excuse you, mister, with your paw all on my stuff. You're stretching? You're stretching. Okay, I know. All right, so the brain, the body, EMFs, that's how they're used. I worked, another example, I worked at a traumatic brain injury unit with, and there was all types of people that had different levels of brain injuries. And one young boy, he was about 14, and he was in a wheelchair, so he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk, and he had a chip installed in his eye. Okay, so I think that's nanochips, very small, very, very precise. And anyways, that nanochip was able to interface with his body and with the computer, and it could talk for him through the computer. So normally he wouldn't be able to even communicate, but with the chip in his eye interfacing with the chip in the computer in his wheelchair, it was all built in together. It was kind of neat. I suppose the computer was detachable. I never seen that part of it, but yeah. So anyways, he's sitting in the wheelchair. Everybody was having a conversation. Normally he wouldn't have been able to even participate, but because of this wonderful advanced satellite-based technology utilizing EMFs from the brain, the chip in his eye interfaced with the computer. They talked, and the computer would say what the boy was thinking. So he was able to communicate, and in real time, so there was no delay or anything, where how conversations kind of move at a certain pace, and it can be awkward if you have to slow down and whatever. I mean, you do it if you have to, but in his case, I mean, real time, so how wonderful in a situation where he would otherwise be stuck, not able to communicate. So this technology is wonderful. Interfacing, okay? EMFs. My favorite word of 2018, and it's still my favorite word of 2019. I don't care. It's it. I like it. I'm sticking with it. Next 2020, I'll have a different word maybe. We'll see. All right, until everybody gets it. That's my goal. Until everybody, I'm going to make it a household word. EMFs, okay? Remember that. Remember the video with the woman with the Stranger Things shirt talking with the grainy footage. Remember me. Just kidding. It's late and I'm tired, but that's okay. This message is important. All right. So EMFs, they're in the brain, in the body, and the environment. Okay. So in the environment, they are pretty much in all devices. Okay. Because devices, when you think of it, are run by internet, and internet is a frequency, right? That's how you get the broadcast. That's how we're doing this right now, is courtesy of the internet. It's broadcasting the signal for us so kindly. So computers, phones, what else? Computers, phones, TV, broadcast, right? It's all broadcasting signals. Okay, radio, TV, radio, phones, internet. All computers, tablets, whatever. It's utilizing the internet signal. Okay, so frequency, signal, same word. Just wanted to point that out. Frequencies, signals, and waves are pretty much the same word. Same thing with radiation. Radiation is actually kind of like a verb, and so is broadcast. So it's radiating a frequency wave. Okay, it's radiating it. Okay, over an area. Same thing with broadcast. It's a verb. It's broadcasting a signal into a device, right? Or a person. Well, you have to. It's signal to signal, right? The brain has EMFs. So does the body. So does the environment. So that's always the goal, right? Hive mind, syncing human brains with devices. I posted a Google video on there is an Indian neuroscientist on the East Coast somewhere, one of those schools that are pumping out those technology gurus, and he made a apparatus where he can wear it on his head and think of a question to Google, in his head, and never say it, just think it, and then it comes up on the computer screen. The computer can tell what he was thinking and answer his question. So that's wonderful. That's syncing. Now this man can talk, but I mean, he didn't have to because he just thought of it. So syncing, universal hive mind. That's the goal. Okay, that's what we're shooting towards. Alrighty, so brain, body, environment, EMFs. They're all over. Oh, we talked about them as tools, right? So yeah, they can be utilized as tools for people with disabilities. Also, there's a brain surgery I seen done. I know we have it here at one of our hospitals. It's called the virtual knife. And what that does is, a woman had tumors removed from her brain. This is just one example, but the neurosurgeon was in one room. She was in the other room. She never got a cut to her head, never, a scalpel never touched her. The neurosurgeon was in one room with a computer and his mouse. She was in the other room with the transducer on her head, lining everything up. And they aimed that ultrasound frequency at her brain, at those tumors in her brain, I should say, at the tumors. And the tumors were reduced by, like, I forget what it was, 80% or 40, enough, I forget which number. I'm really going to have to commit that to my memory, but enough where before she couldn't even, I don't know if you've seen people with Parkinson's, with tumors around their brain, but it had affected her motor skills, in the brain, so she couldn't even, like, take a glass of water, to her lips. She would be shaking so bad. Imagine that. I mean, that's a horrible way to live. That's a hard way to live. And then the surgery, after she had it done, remember, no cuts, nothing. She said it hurt, but still, now they showed an after picture, and I posted this video before, so look through my timeline, you'll see it. Anyways, right after the surgery, she was able to, put a glass of water, and drink without shaking anymore. Okay, so the surgery worked. Brain surgery without scalpels, without tools, the only tool using ultrasound frequency aimed at the brain in the correct spots. Of course, it sounds easy, but there's stuff that you have to aim it in the right place, right? But how wonderful. Okay, so that's another tool. They are doing surgeries now in the area of medicine. Frequencies are being utilized more and more and more, and that is because the whole body vibrates on frequencies. Each organ. So your heart, your your lungs, your kidneys. Everything. It vibrates at a specific frequency. So how wonderfully, how wondrously we are made. Okay, so EMFs in the brain, in the body, and in the environment. Okay, they can be used as wonderful tools. Now I don't want to, I don't want to be negative. Okay, I just want to be, I said we were going to talk about tools as well as weapons. So one way, if there's one, there's another, depending on whose hands it's in. All right, so one way to weaponize this EMFs, okay, frequencies, electromagnetic frequencies, is to, there's a thing called EMF broadcast, okay? This is what it sounds like. You're broadcasting a microwave, a frequency, onto a person, okay? Just like you would broadcast, just like the television media stations broadcast the signal into your home so you can get cable TV or, internet service, whatever it is, it's broadcasting it, radiating it into, into wherever you'd like it to be. That's how it works. We just discussed that, okay, for the last 15 minutes. Now, that's when you actually, that's consensually. That's when you want it, right? Like, you want the internet. So, you pay the company, and so then they can send the broadcast in so you can get internet, right? Okay, or so you can get your TV channel, watch your soap operas, right? Young and Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, all that stuff that we like to do, right? Our telephone, we pay the bill so we can have the broadcast sent in. This is all consensual. We agree. Same thing with the lady with the brain surgery. She wanted the tumors gone. She was willing to go through the surgery to do it. Okay? Consensual use of electromagnetic frequencies. Excuse me 1 second. Of course, I'm on video and now, like a weird... Okay, anywho, just ignore that. Ignore that. I had some of those little, not that you need to know this, but those pork chitlin things, and I hardly ever eat those. It's like a treat. They were good too. I think they were nacho flavored. Delicious. Probably horrible for you. It's pig skins, fried pig skins. But hey, if you're going to slaughter the pig, you better use every part of its body. And they're delicious as a little treat every now and then. I digress. Okay, But so far we've talked about consensual ways to use these EMFs. Okay, when you're broadcasting, that's consensual. You know, you're paying for service for your internet, for your phone, for your TV. You know, the radio. You turn it on. You want to hear the broadcast because you want to hear the music. You know, surgery. You agree to have these things done by the doctor, by a surgeon, by a trained professional, right? Okay, so. So those are ways that these EMFs can be used as great tools. Okay, now also EMFs broadcasting can be used as a weapon. Because remember, it's powerful, it's invisible, and it can be sent directly to a person, okay, or the environment, right? It's just sending a signal from over there to over here, wherever you are. There has been a thing more often now in harassment, okay, where people are using EMF broadcast as a tool of harassment, as a weapon to harass. Okay, so this is my public message for it, because I don't know if a lot of people are understanding it, or if they're talking about it, or maybe they're not talking about it because they don't understand it. Maybe they're being harassed with it and don't even know it. Okay, and as we are blazing through 2019, a lot of things are going on. This advanced satellite based technology is just getting more and more. The goal obviously is universal hive mind. Okay, so that means that the whole world will eventually be able to be on hive mind, right? All this syncing of the human brain with devices is not just for for little things. There's a bigger goal to it. Okay, so hive mind, right? You've heard of smart homes with Alexa, with you can turn on your stove by voice activated. You can turn off all the lights with voice activated things. It's all through the smart system. Okay, computerized EMFs, right? Satellite. That's a good thing. But that leads to a universal hive mind society, which is what is the goal. Okay, I digress. But so we're moving forward in the time. We're moving fast through the timeline here. And some people even now have found out ways to weaponize this broadcast. Okay, so what can happen is basically what I'm saying is somebody can basically broadcast into you a frequency, an EMF, okay, microwave or whatever kind. There's all different kinds. Don't know if I should, yeah, I'll bring that out. There's different types of waves, okay? They go by different names. There are things like, okay, ELF waves, not like the movie ELF. No, like extremely, it's an acronym for extremely low frequency waves. There's UHF waves, ultra high frequency waves. There are microwaves, which are, as the name implies, they're smaller in, I don't know, the space between the waves. A professional could explain it better, but yeah, you know what a microwave is. At least you know how they're used. Microwave ovens, okay, those handy things. All different types, okay. And when they're used as tools, like for a microwave for heating up your oven for your frozen food, that's wonderful. Or heating up your popcorn, right? You want a nice big, tub of popcorn before you watch your movie, your Stranger Things series, right? Season 1, can't wait, right? Those are things you're consensually using EMF broadcast. Now, when people get a hold of these weaponry systems, they can use them on other people and broadcast into them in their house, their body, let's say a microwave broadcast. Okay, when someone does that to you, it can hurt you physically and mentally. Okay, they can hurt you with it. I mean, just think. A microwave is strong enough to take a kernel of popcorn and burst it with heat, right? It's strong enough to take something frozen solid within 5 minutes, unfreeze it, and have it hot. Okay, so these things are powerful, powerful, powerful. Okay, and when they're tools, they're great. See, Now, if that microwave, even a portion of it, is aimed at your brain or body, it can hurt you, and you will feel it hurting. You will feel it. If anybody's ever had, anybody in the audience, if you've ever had like an MRI or thing like that, it doesn't hurt, but it don't tickle either. Okay. This broadcast, when people get a hold of these and use them as weapons, say on their neighbor, on their now we're getting into the reasons why. Why would I'm talking about the what, that people are using microwave weapons, microwaves and EMFs as weapons on other people. Okay, so I guess you'd want to get into the who and the why. Okay, well, who would do it? Anybody who would have access to it. Okay, so you can go from high up in the power pyramid. It could be somebody doing training, research, and development. A local medical industry complex, a local military industry complex, testing out weaponry, right? Who else are you going to test them on? So it can be that. It can also be more personal, depending on who you have in your life. Could be a jilted lover, right? Ex-person in your life, a person that wanted to date you and you didn't want to date them. A family member who's out for revenge, right? You too big for your britches, somebody has to cut you down a peg. Maybe you have a psycho neighbor who just can't handle confrontation, or you just made them mad to the point where they feel that they got access to this machine somehow. Maybe they're brothers in I don't know, a crime syndicate or law enforcement, and has access to this microwave weapon, and now this crazy neighbor has it and they're going to use it on you because for whatever. Okay. Who else could use it? Like I said, ex-lovers. There's a little thing in the intelligence field, intelligence, that's the alphabet agencies, and they call it love intel, right? So instead of, signal intelligence or other words with intelligence, they call it love intel. Love intel meaning they can use these type of tactics on like ex-lovers or people that they're attracted to, things like that. You get it. So love, using it for in that arena instead of just for like how it's supposed to be on the enemies, right? These are weapons of war is what they are. Now microwave, when it's low enough, it's going to hurt you, and it's going to cause things like sleep deprivation, right? They can zap you awake when they want. They can just aim it at you and you'll feel your whole head heat up and have massive headaches. You'll feel it. You'll actually feel it buzzing. You'll feel your whole body buzzing. Very unpleasant. I lost my train of thought there. But they can do that. Was my point. Yeah, anyway, if we're talking about the who, so that's what it is. Though when it's aimed at the body and the brain, it becomes a weapon. And depending on different reasons people have, like I said, ex lovers, or first reason, training, research, and development. So it's not personal. It's just you were picked, you were put on a list. They're testing this weapon, and your name came up in the demographics. You're a white female, ages da 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 da, or white male, whatever it is that they're looking for that study or that research. And hey, boom, you're going to get some microwave or whatever. You're going to get some EMF weaponry used upon you. Okay? Might be a little, might be a lot. Might be the kind that just hurts you, might be the kind that talks to you. Yeah, I think we discussed that in another video, but I can go over it again later. We're just going to spend a few more minutes. I'm just trying to drive this point home that these EMFs can be weaponized, are wonderful tools, and they can be weaponized, and it's being done by people in the community, different people in the power pyramid for different reasons. One of the main ones being training, research, and development, which is not as much personal, but it feels pretty personal when it's, blasting through your body and all that. It's pretty personal. And second, who else can do it? Just, whistleblowers. Did you work at a company? Did you make the, did you threaten to sue? Did you become a did you see something you weren't supposed to see, and it hurt your conscience, and you went and said something about it, and now they're scared you're gonna, let out the secret or something like that. Whistleblower. Did you blow a whistle? Because those people, you will get you can get targeted with this type of weaponry / tools. Remember, it's a tool. It's a tool and it's a weapon, and it's powerful and it's invisible. So it's the best kind of weapon, honestly. I mean, it's actually perfect if you think about it. For people who are using it, they think, wow, I'm using it. I'm just going to blast it on her brain here, or his brain, or just, mess up their body a little bit. And, hey, no problemo. They can't prove it. It's invisible. Can't see it, right? Take a minute to think about that. We are living in an age with advanced satellite-based technology in the form of electromagnetic frequencies that can be broadcasted onto you, into your brain, into your body, and cause numerous effects, from severe to mild. I guess if you want to say, something hurting you is mild, yes, but it's possible. And this EMFs, advanced satellite-based technology, they're invisible. So it is truly the perfect weapon. So you understand. Okay. And again, who would do this? Well, why ask why? A lot of people. Training, research, and development. That usually involves money, right? You got your military industrial complex, you got your medical industry complex, all right? It's not personal. They just need to test some stuff. They need to get paid. You're a guinea pig. Boom, you're on the list. Okay, who else? Whistleblower. Oh, now you didn't told some stuff or you seen some stuff, and you're going to feel the wrath, okay, of whomever. Who else can do this thing? Okay, be more personal now. Bring it down to a personal level, friends, family, ex-lovers, ex-people you just dated, whatever. Crazy neighbor that can't handle, life, is just a little bit sociopath. They have anybody with access to this. And a lot of people can get their hands on them nowadays. Lots of people, you wouldn't think, but these are patents that you can order, that you can buy and go on the internet. I'm not trying to give nobody any ideas, okay? Because for most of us, I think we're all on the same page. Nobody wants to have invisible, powerful weapons used upon them, right? Yeah, I think mostly all of us are on the same page. So that's why I'm doing this video, because I want to let you know, I want to bring awareness that this stuff exists, and I want to explain a little bit how it works. EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies, which is a form of advanced satellite-based technology, and EMFs are found in the brain, the body, and the environment, and can be used as both tools and weapons. Okay. That's all I wanted to talk about, guys. All right, that was the main point. I want to make sure, let me just check my notes here, make sure I did not forget anything. Okay, this is so important. This is public awareness, okay? You need to know this exists so you can protect yourself. All right? Knowledge is power. So first thing, I've done the research on it. So I wanted to share my research. I was astounded when I found out how this technology works. It's amazing. Like I said, we talked about pros too. We talked about how it's used as tools. Wonderful things it's capable of. It can really benefit. It really is benefiting humanity. This advanced satellite-based technology, and it's here to stay. So, we can't, get rid of it. But at this, we wouldn't want to, because the benefits outweigh the risks. However, with the risks of it being weaponized and people using it as such, we need to, as a society, one, become more aware. Let's get comfortable. EMFs. I want to drive that word home, and that you guys can use it as a household. As a society, let's use it as a household name. EMFs. Okay. And we're gonna need some socio-political change in regards to this new tool / weapon. Okay, because again, it's powerful and invisible. So the people who are using it in a criminal manner realize this, and they are banking on the fact they're basically getting away with a lot of stuff right now, because because this weapon is invisible. It's really a cowardly way to attack someone. So let's all get on the same page. Let's understand how it works, what it is, and then let's try to make. We're going to need to make some socio-political change. I mean, because you can imagine as we march on, as a society, and more people are gonna get their hands on these weapons. What's gonna happen? Stalking, assaults. Nowadays, people, for the most part, if they get mad, they want to fight, right? Physically, okay? It's not so bad. Maybe you have a little bit of a chance if they don't totally outweigh you or, I mean, and when you're not going to fight a fight, you're just not going to. But now, and then also, too, you have your house usually as protection, right? You can, if you don't want to fight or if you don't want to, if you want to be left alone, you just go in your home usually, right? And then there's the police you can call. Now we've reached a different stage in society. You can have somebody that is so intent on hurting you, and if they have access to this type of advanced satellite-based technology, invisible, powerful weapon, they can broadcast it right into your house. Yeah, while you're sleeping. You won't get a good night's sleep. I can't tell you when's the last time I got a good night's sleep. Apparently that's something in whomever is um harassing me with this type of weaponry. They don't like to see me sleep. I can't even place if mine is due to training, research, and development, which I'm tending to think that it is. Or like I said, though, it can be for different reasons. It's also a lot of times for revenge, or it could be ex-lovers or ex-people, family, friends, I don't know. But it takes a lot of effort. So I'm tending to think mine is more, there's a money trail with mine. So I mean, usually with a lot of people's, but I digress. The point is, it's an invisible weapon. EMFs, they can be found in the brain, the body, and the environment, and they can be used as both wonderful, powerful tools and wonderful, powerful, destructive weapons. So, as a society, I just want to, let's get aware and let's at least think about, even if we're not ready to have the conversation yet, let's think about the changes that need to come into play to address this and to harness this and to manage these weapons, okay? Because they're here and they're not going anywhere. All right? But neither are we. Right? As God willing, we're here. We're humans. We're living. We're loving, and this is our lives, right? Okay. So my usual advice to you: do your research. God loves you. He loves all of us. It's a spiritual battle. It always has been. It always will be. It's now. I'll say this last thing: the human realm has access to things, frequencies that only the spiritual realm had access to before. Okay, so think about that. People have in their hands the power that only the spirit world had. Okay, which is wonderful. Obviously, it's been allowed by the true creator. But with humans, we have with power sometimes I don't know how we handle it. It's what I'm saying. We need to police each other and make sure that this doesn't get out of hand. Okay, is what I'm saying. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to me. Do your research on this EMFs. Okay. God loves you. God loves us. All right. Have a good evening. Bye.